You know who it is, the horror flick, Digger did, Super 6, Big Mitch. And I'm kicking in doors with all three O's. And I'm bringing 28 101s because we making sons, it's the Chronicles. And you in the Meadowlands. Yeah, you in the Meadows, man. And you already know what made me. 530. What that mean? Oh, that boy's a desert baby. 22-inch gold Dana Danes. And Big Bolo Yang. I can never sit on McLean's. Welcome to Vegas Chronicles with the whole Super 6, Mr. Digger. Ditch Big Mitch. And today, like any other day y'all know we do, we kick ass with factions. With no additives and no preservatives. Just raw and uncut like what? Like summer sausages and crackers. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with your boy. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting my platform. You know, I got the backpack giveaway coming up, man. Y'all stay tuned for that, man. I'm going to be giving away, God willing, 100 backpacks. It's going to be Big Mitch going back to school backpack giveaway. And it's going to most likely be at Doolittle. Y'all stay tuned for that. It's going to probably be the second week. It's going to probably be the week after the 4th of July. So y'all stay tuned. Bring your kids out there. Come get you a backpack. It's going to be a backpack with all the assortments up in it. And a few more things, man. Y'all gonna be quite happy, man. Bring your kids out, man, and come support Big Mitch first annual backpack going to school giveaway, man. Let's jump right off into it, man. Today, you know, I correspond with my audience. I answer questions, you know. I got people that's coming up with old video footage that I'm gonna start trying to bring y'all, man. We're gonna start upgrading and doing things the right way, man, and bringing y'all cases and stuff that took place to show y'all how it really got the cracking out here in Las Vegas, man. And I want to also say something about the cat from the east side. Some Hispanic got up here and they was being very disrespectful. I'm not going to disrespect the east side because of one dude got up here, and it probably was the police, man. But nevertheless, man, I'm not going to diss the east side, man. But I'm going to say this right here. In my era, when we was putting in work, the east side wasn't on the map like that. I'm not saying they wasn't doing their thing, but the face of the east side during my era was 28th Street. And then after that, you know, the Pueblos and all that stuff, you know, that came up. You know, I'm not saying the east didn't do its thing, but when I was coming up, it was the north and the west. You know, but shout out to the east side, man. I'm not going to disrespect them. That's not what my platform about, because somebody want to get up on here and they want to spew hatred. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's about. People be clout chasing. You know what I mean? People just miserable. But the hate is real. But we ain't gonna even give them that type of attention. We go turn to the next page. Now I want to address something because I'm gonna nip this in the bud. Because one thing about me, I'm for the youth. But you got a lot of haters out there. The hate is real, and 9 times out of 10, it come from your own people, and that's the sad thing. But that's the reality of the situation. Now it's been said that I have a disdain, not that I don't like, but I have a disdain for Carrie arms. Like, I don't like Carrie arms, you know. And you know, I just went through that with 40 block, you know. And this is the thing: it isn't the fact that people really truly believe I have an issue with Carrie arms. It's certain individuals that's from Carrie arms or claim Carrie arms that has issues with me, and they try to make it, you know, she don't like Carrie arms. So I'm gonna nip that in the bud so you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Because one thing I am before I'm anything is a man. And as a man, I'm gonna stand on what I say. You know, y'all know me. So I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Number one, when it comes to Carrie arms, I have no issue with Carrie arms. Just like I have no issue with 40 block. I speak the truth. And a lot of people don't like that. But I'm gonna continue to speak the truth. For instance, number one, it's a known fact that the Gersons, once upon a time, looked at Carrie arms along with Crip City as enemies. That's the truth. At one point in time, Carrie arms and the Gersons were enemies. That's the truth. What happened was drugs. Drugs entered the foray. The 6-0s had West Street sold up, and the Gersons started making inroads on Morton. You had Donna Ray Page, Marcus, Lil Gus, and a few more people that was over there on Morton. You had Eazy-E, who had a spot facing Carey. Money them had West sold up. And what made matters even worse is that Anthony Webb, who was a K9, stayed at the very end. Now, how the Gersons and the 6-0s got into it was because it was a lot of money flowing through Carrie arms, right? And the 60s and Gersons was going back and forth, right? They was busting on each other. It was messing up the money. It was a lot of money coming through Carrie arms during 88, 89, during that span. Everybody know that. And what happened is the Gersons in the 60s decided to get out, to fight, put the guns down. Big Easy, he liked to fight. Torture Chamber, Big Looney, Big Natty, all of them, they liked to fight. So they got out right there in that parking lot facing West Street by the security office. They got out. What happened with the K9s, the K9s was caught in the middle of that. I'm not finna get into who started it and how K9 started. I already did that. And people will be like, see, he disrespected Carrie arms. But the truth is the truth. At one point, the K9s was looked upon as a clique off the 6-0s. They was. One of the first K9s to come to Elko, and he was still wearing blue, was Marlo Thomas, Ice Dog. See, these facts that you can't get around this. He was the first K9 to come to Elko, and the second K9 to come to Elko was Terrell Pearl, and the third K9 to come to Elko was Jody Fitzgerald, Jody Gyro. You can't tell me nothing about this history. I was in that fight with the 6-0s. Me, Lil Bread, Chill Dog, and Duck House went to Carrie arms together. That night we fought the 6-0s. We came together. And when the Gersons took over Carrie arms because the K9 sided with the Gersons, when they took over Carrie arms, I mean, let's keep it real. You ones that's doing all this here, this barking, first of all, you wasn't even allowed to come out the house. You don't know nothing about this history. You didn't know Tricky T. Y'all didn't know Tricky T. You didn't know Tony. You knew nothing of Tony. Richie Rich was a hothead. Richie Rich couldn't stand probably 99% of y'all, man. Richie Rich didn't want nothing soft up around him. Richie Rich didn't mess with people. Let's keep it real, man. Anthony Webb. Everybody do Anthony Webb. From when he stayed on West and then when he moved on Morton. Lil Creep. Baby J. Skeet, Scotty. Come on, man. Come on, man. These real Ninas. OG Hacksaw. Kip Nut. Come on, man. I was the one running around there when the 6-0s were trying to take Carrie Orange back. I was one of the ones running around there putting in work, homie. For real. So let me tell y'all some real history about Carrie Arms. How can I hate a place that I was over there riding, trying to protect? The 6-0s wasn't just letting that go. Money Mun them still was down there. Boy Pop them still was down there on West Street. E-Rock them still was down there on West Street. Baby Blue them, they was coming through there like it wasn't nothing. The 6-0s wasn't going nowhere. But what y'all was, the ones that's doing this talking, what y'all was? Now I'm finna give y'all some real history. The 6-0s wasn't going nowhere. Especially the females. Hey, check this out. I got a cold story to tell y'all, man. Speaking of the females. Hey, look. Hey, one night, look. It was me and Bebop, Boris, right? We together. We coming from the G's. And you know, when we come from the desert, McNeil used to have this big blue trailer on the side of his store. And it said McNeil's on it, right? And we used to use it, you know, to go use the bathroom or try to light something or to stash our pistols and stuff like that, right? So when me and Bebop was headed up there one day, right? When we was coming, we see these females. It's like 5 of them, right? And when we get up on them, I recognize one of them. It was Baby Blue from 60s, right? Then the other one, I think it was E-Rock. I think E-Rock was messing with her. I think she passed away. But I think it was E-Rock female. I remember her for being over Wolf Daughter, Tasha house. They was all 6-0s. It was like 5 of them, right? they had this big old 64-ounce thing, a Thunderbird, a 64-ounce, right? So automatically, when I see that, I'm thinking, oh, I'm finna take that, right? Because we was coming up here to get some beer anyway. I was coming up there to steal. But when I seen that 64-ounce Thunderbird, I got to have that. And there's some females too, and they from 6-0. Oh, I got to have that. I got to have that. So look, we walked up on them. Now me and Baby Blue, we was always cool. You know, I knew she was a 6', you know what I mean? I wasn't really tripping with her, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't never had no issue like that with her, you know what I mean? But I knew where she was from, and I knew she was about that life. But I don't care, she a girl, these girls. So I mob up there, right, me and Bebop. I say, what's up? Baby Blue say, what's up, she? I'm looking at that Thunderbird, right? I'm like, I'm finna take that, right? It's big, right? They can barely hold that thing, man, right? So I'm like, what y'all doing? They was like, nothing. They had just bought it, right? So they was finna go back to Crib City, right? So I'm standing there. I say, let me get some of that. She was like, you can come with us and we'll pour you some, but we ain't finna open it right here, right? I'm just trying to get them to give me the bottle, so once I get it in my hand, it's on me, right? So I go up over there because they had it sitting down on the ground. So I go up over there and Red kind of walked with me to it, right? Baby Blue, she kind of walked with me to it. Her name Red, but they call her Baby Blue. So she kind of walked with me to it, right? So I bent down and I picked it up and I was looking at it like I ain't never seen a 64-ounce thing of a Thunderbird before, right? So I'm looking at this big old thing of Thunderbird, right? I'm like, how much this cost, right? I knew how much it cost, right? But she knew what I was on. So look, I was like, man, it's on me. And I turned my back and I spunked off on him. Like this on me, and I started walking off. Look, Bebop started laughing, right? So he started mobbing. He was like, come on, homie. He started like skipping ahead of me. Man, I turned and tried to walk off, man. Baby Blue grabbed me by my shirt. I looked, I said, you better let me go. And I tried to snatch away from her. She snatched me back, and they was on me. Now look, me and Baby Blue ain't never had no problems, right? But our homegirls, they was tripping. And I was like, you better let me go. Right? So I had the Thunderbird in one hand and I took my hand and tried to move her hand off my shirt. And when I did like this, she ripped my shirt. And when she ripped my shirt, I flinched at her. And when I flinched at her, she fired on me. Bah! And when she fired on me, I dropped that Thunderbird and threw my dukes up. Man, all I felt was licks. They had me up against the wall, had me up against that long thing. They was moving me. Hey, look, I ain't gonna even lie. I'm wondering what Bebop was. He wasn't nowhere around. But they was whooping my motherfucker. They was. Now I'm trying to get away. I'm swinging backwards and doing all this right here. Boy, I'ma say this. Them 6', they fight hard. They was whooping my, look, Red didn't remember that. I was touching walls, look, but I wasn't finna fall down though. I wasn't finna do that, right? They was whooping me. They was whooping my ass, and then one of them called me and said, oh, Herb ass. They was whooping me. Whooping me. So check this out. I broke away, pal. I get up out of there, right? Look, I'm running back toward, and I'm running back toward the girls in the room. Man, you just got smashed by some girls. So I get mad, and I turn around, and I'm running back. I picked up a big ass rock, right? So now I'm running toward them, and I'm kind of lightweight crying, cause man, look, they put hands on me. So look, I'm chasing them, and I'm about to throw the rock, and when I was trying to throw the rock, I tripped and fell. Boom! They ran over there and got right back on me. All in the dust. I say, Boris, Bebop. They was whooping my mother. Look, they put hands on me. Look what he do. He grabbed the Thunderbird that was on the ground. He didn't help me though, but he grabbed a Thunderbird and took off running. And it's like when they seen it was gone, that made them even madder, so they whooped me even worse. They whooped me up out my, listen, I went up over there and look, they whooped me so bad, I was in Carey on with one shoe on. I told them the 60s jumped me straight up. I lied. I'm gonna keep it 100. I told them I got jumped by the 6'0", the dudes. For real. I was over there with one shoe on, sandal prints all in my curl, everything. I told them I got whooped by the 6'0" dudes. I couldn't even tell them the female smashed me. But this cat that took the Thunderbird and ran off with it. I got whooped out. I'm up over there looking. Hey, look, I'm over there telling the homies what happened, right? And it's funny, right? Because I think I was talking to Bobby Lowe, and I was sitting there talking to him, and I just got to rocking back and forth like this here. They whooped my mother. They had me over there like this here. They whooped my mother. I ain't that boy. Look here, I respect them. So when it come to carry arms, I was one of the ones over there terrorizing that neighborhood, man. For real. Before Calvin Murray, when security guard was the white dude, Pac-Man. I blew on Pac-Man. They used to have an SUV. They used to be rolling through their bumping colors. I bust on Pac-Man. So before you say I hate something, know what you're talking about. I can never hate carry arms. I put my life on the line for carry arms. Kip Nut was my brother. OG Hacksaw was my brother. I don't rock with y'all little cats, man. I don't know y'all. People like Short Dog, that was my little homeboy. As much as I love, look, me and Short Dog the same age. I've been banging since '85, man, before Short Dog came outside. It's not my fault, Sheepdog my daddy, and that I was introduced to the game early. But by the time Short Dog was banging, I had already been in Elko twice, man. What is y'all talking about? That's my little homeboy. That's my little homeboy. And I had genuine love for him. When I was on the run, I was running around with him. I was hiding out in his room. Even when his moms told him to stay away from me, he still opened his window up and let me come in his house at night and sleep when I was on a run. I used to keep my things over in Short Dog room when he had the turntables up over there. I used to keep my thing in Short Dog room all the time, man. And when them six set whooped Short Dog, y'all remember that? When Short Dog was going with Aisha, and he went up over there trying to jump on Aisha, and them Slack sisters put it on him, who he come get that thing from? And he lied too, talking about the dudes whooped him. It was the females that whooped him. Mary Louise told on him. He's sitting on the couch, whooped out, whole curl pushed this way. What happened to you? He gonna tell me the 6-0, the dudes got him. Mary Louise say, quit lying, you lying mother. Mary Louise just started cussing her out. Come to find out it was Aisha then. I gave Short Dog a thing. Short Dog went over there and shot Crip City up. So y'all can't tell me nothing about this game here, man. But let me tell y'all this here. No disrespect to no one, but this the truth, and I dare anyone to prove me wrong. Carry arms is K9 neighborhood. It is. Always have been. Before that, it was 6-0 turf, but it was K9 neighborhood, right? How did the alley shots get over there? How y'all end up sharing a neighborhood? Because the alley is the little carry arms. And y'all ain't from over there. I come from over there. I'm 2179 Gearing Circle. But headquarters was the little alley. That was Bread's alley. Everybody know that. It was spray painted up, and nowhere in that alley will you find alley shot. That alley had more spray paint than anything. Lou Bread was going herb. Lou Bread. Before anybody knew what herb was. See? So how that ended up in carry arms? Right. I tell you. Because the police started 86 and all the Gersons. That's how. And all the Gersons ended up in carry arms, ended up in the Brownies, ended up on 40 Block, ended up in Vegas Heights, ended up in Northtown. You see? That's how that happened, man. That's how the alley shots ended up in carry arms. Because when before the alley shots came out, wasn't nobody doing nothing in carry arms. That's why the alley shots came out, because wasn't nobody putting in no work. Even Bread was frustrated. We was the only ones over there doing something. Who else was doing something? Let's keep it real. Hanging out in front of your house every day, drinking 40s, listening to Tony Tone, it's not gangbanging. And that's what a bunch of people were doing. They were sitting in front of their house with 40 ounces. They all drove the same colored Cadillac. Some of them was 4-door, others was 2. They were sitting out there listening to Tony Tone. So what makes you think that I would try to run a game on you just to show us my name is Dwayne? I'll be there for you, and I'll treat you just like the king. And you find that you'll never have to worry about another in your place. That's what they was over there doing. The only time they got active is when them BTDs got it, you know what I mean? And it made them get active. But them cats went over there doing nothing. And then what happened? They had meetings at Piggy Park. See? The meetings at Piggy's Park, the cordons, because people wasn't doing nothing. That's where Ali Shah come from. Now y'all get it. So how could I ever hate that? I was at that every meeting. I was at that meeting at Piggy's Park when a bunch of y'all ran. A bunch of y'all ran. But people was getting put on because they wasn't doing nothing. Remember? And if you think I'm lying, I can, look. Y'all let the Bloods walk through there and pop Levine in the back. Levine Page, he'll tell you I ain't lying. The Bloods walk through Carrie Arms and pop Levine in the back. Walk through Carrie Arms. The Bloods. See? Let's keep it real. I don't hate Carrie Arms. I don't hate nobody, man. I'm too old for that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be disrespected by people who wasn't even, people wasn't even coming outside, man. Listen, my thing is, I'm not bothering nobody. What I'm doing is I'm speaking on me and my life story. And then you got other people that co-sign other people's checks. They miserable. A bunch of people, if you put them all together, you wouldn't make a half of a gangster. You put all them cats together, you wouldn't even get a misdemeanor. For real. And then you got some other cats, look, the hate is real. That's all I'm going to say. But they can keep hating on me. Brad told me a long time ago, man, when you put in work, they go hate on you. If you excelling at anything and you doing better than them, they go hate on you, man. And it ain't gonna be the people that you expect to hate on you. It's gonna be your own people, the dude that's standing next to you, that's gonna be hating on you, man. For real. When my life was messed up, when I was out here in these streets and I was on that water, when I ain't had no understanding, when people would see me coming and go the other way, see, they wouldn't dare speak my name. But they can't believe God actually put his hands on me. They can't believe that God actually left me here, that God actually touched me and gave me the wisdom that I have to be able to sit in front of the camera and be the type of orator that I am, to talk to the youth coherently. You see? And at the same time, he's steadily, God, exposing these demons. And I'm glad he is. But people will get into it with me and try to make it seem like, oh, he don't like the neighborhood, he don't like, no, I might not like you, but that don't mean I don't like that area. I have nothing against Carrie Arms. I have nothing but love for Carrie Arms. Dog Man, Den, that's my brother. Trick, all them, we all can. I ain't got nothing but love for them cats over there. I might not talk to them. We might not agree on a lot of things, but I ain't got nothing but love for them. That's my family. I want some positive stuff, and a lot of people not gonna be for me. I had a big brother tell me the other day, and I love this brother to death. Shout out to Meech, man. That's a good brother. He ain't never told me nothing wrong, man. And at one point in time, me and Meech, you know what I mean? He stood on what he stood on, and I stood on what I stood on. But I consider him my big brother. But you know, a lot of people ain't for me. A lot of people for me and they salute what I'm doing, but it's a lot of people that ain't for me, man. And I'm not naive. I'm not gonna act like I don't know that. It's a lot of people that don't like what I'm doing. But I'm doing this for the youth. God left me here to do this for the youth, and I fear God more than I fear these cats up out here, these naysayers, man. Because let me tell you something, man. I was in the penitentiary, a place a lot of these cats scared to go. That's why they do this here. But when they do come up there, you really get to see people for who they are. And a lot of people that's running around here with their chest poked out, youngster, they was up in there washing drawers. They was PCing up, getting off the yard because they didn't want to fade people they told on. You see, I'm going to tell y'all the truth about this, man. These cats out here don't love y'all, man. You see how they do me? I don't mess with nobody. I stay at home. I do the family thing. I feel I'm obligated because I'm an elder. I've been through it, and I know about it. So instead of me getting into it with another dude who should be focusing on their kids, I'm gonna stay focused on my mission, which is to save the youth. That's what I've been doing. I was doing this in the penitentiary. You ask Rail C, you ask Reese Slope and all them from Donna Street, you ask Pootie Mac from 6 O's, you ask all them cats about me. I ain't never told them nothing wrong. I always kept it positive. And I'm from Vegas, man. I represent Vegas to the fullest, man. But it's about your character, man. You could be from Vegas and be a rotten piece of you know what, and you could be from California and be A1A, and vice versa. That's why Big Mouse from Athens Park, rest in peace, Roger Moore, that was my big Brody. That was my big Brody. I consider people like